video where I don't use any script whatsoever. The reason for this is because I will be gone for the entire week, and recording videos without a script saves a lot of time. Which by the way means that if we get the MSI orbs on Wednesday, you should be expecting another opening video. But the real reason why today I will be partially talking nonsense and you will listen to me is because today is my birthday. Okay, maybe not. But today, on the 30th of April, is the birthday of our channel. Today it has been 10 years since I started our channel. Anyway, I know that a lot of you are expecting a Yumi video, but don't worry, we will cover her next time. Or at least in the video after the MSI opening, if that happens. The reason for it is because we know that Yumi will get a short story in a bit. And on top of that, there will also be a short story about Yordles. So expect a full-out Bandle City update. So again, don't worry, her story will come to the channel later. Which means that today we will talk about a different topic. And luckily for you, because you will listen to this, we got a topic that's very interesting. Let's talk about what's happening with Riot's next video game. Let's start from the very beginning. The story of Riot working on another game is not really a recent one. There is a long history of Riot being in contact with other developers that are working on different games. And interestingly enough, Riot actually obtained a smaller indie company a few years ago. That indie company was working on a fighting game. That's why for a while everyone thought that Riot's next game will be a fighting game, which may be possible, but I don't think it will actually happen. The peculiar thing is that indie company that Riot bought disappeared only a couple of months after they've been acquired. So simply said, Riot bought an indie company that was working on a fighting game, that fighting game was never released, and that company got pretty much terminated. That entire situation is really strange. Because why would Riot contact other developers, scrap their project, and why would they then abandon everything as if nothing happened? We don't really know the answers to that, but we know the answers to a lot of other things. So let's have a look at all the updated relevant facts that we know about the next game. First of all, just like our very own channel, Riot will also celebrate 10th anniversary this year. That is a massive opportunity to reveal the next game. And we know that Riot is working on the next game, because we got the numerous tweets, Reddit post confirmations, and also it was revealed in one of Riot's Q&A videos.
Are we gonna make any larger other games someday?
Mystery.
Yes!
So we know something is happening and the 10th anniversary would be amazing for this. And I am not the only one who thinks that. There was actually a Reddit post where people debated what might happen during the 10th anniversary. And it's a surprise to no one that many people actually thought the same thing. A lot of people thought that this year we might get the next game revealed. But many of people on Reddit, as well as many of you, might think that Riot is working on an open world game. Probably some kind of MMO. After all, Tryndamere himself tweeted about this many times. Well, actually twice, I think. But nonetheless, he memed it. He asked people if they would like to see an MMO. To me, the issue with an MMO is that there is not a lot of room to get into the market. Right now, we pretty much got only 3 real MMOs. We got World of Warcraft, Final Fantasy, and The Elder Scrolls. And these 3 games pretty much cover the entire market. There is not much else you can do with this. On top of that, MMOs are incredibly expensive to make. And if you fail, and there is a really high chance now, you can easily go bankrupt. MMOs have always been a massive risk. And even if you make a good game, for example, WildStar to me was an amazing MMO. Because MMOs require a lot of dedication. And especially people need to dedicate a lot of time into them. If they don't do that, your MMO will die nonetheless. But unfortunately, I am not the only one who thinks that MMO is not the right choice. The Cactopus, who is actually a writer you may know from a lot of Ask Riots, confirmed that Riot is not working on an MMO. He could be lying to make it a surprise, but the chances are he is not. When someone asked about a huge open world game set in Runeterra, he said, and I quote, "We're for sure not doing this, sorry. There is no League MMO in development. We are doing things though." So as you can see, MMO will probably not happen. But again, this confirms that something will happen. Now, let's have a look at another really interesting proof. In November of 2018, Riot trademarked a lot of new names. Among these new trademarks are Yasuo, Garen, Lee Sin, Riven, Tryndamere, Echo, Ryze, Ahri, Annie, Echo, Ezreal, Garen, Jinx, Lee Sin, Riven, Ryze, Tryndamere, Yasuo, all the championship images and names, the Tribunal, KDA, but most importantly, Legends of Runeterra. Now, originally we thought that this was tied to the comics. During November we learned that Riot was working on something with Marvel. Actually, I think that we learned about the Marvel deal a bit earlier. So during those times, we thought that Legends of Runeterra might be tied to the name of the overall comics. Something like The Avengers, and then there would be a subtitle. Only in this case, it would be Legends of Runeterra, War Mother, or something like that. Only if you look at it now, there is nothing actually called Legends of Runeterra. What it still could be is that this could be the name for the physical collection. Maybe after Riot releases multiple of their comics, they will tie them all in one bigger bundle and they will call it Legends of Runeterra. That may still happen. But as of right now, that name was still not used for anything. And what's interesting is that Riot trademarked these names for a lot of different things. We got everything from audio speakers, computer mice, decorative magnets, but we also got downloadable mobile games, art prints, comic books, graphic novels and merchandise, which again could be related to the comics. Then we got carrying bags, backpacks, coin purses. All of this is probably for merch. Then there is belts, coats, costumes, dresses, gloves, Halloween costumes. That could be for cosplay? Then there is beanbag dolls, bobblehead dolls, but more importantly, card games, board games, action toys, fantasy character toys, and simply all the other games. This could be just a safety net. Maybe in the future, just like we got World of Warcraft Monopoly, Legends of Runeterra might have its own side games. After this, we got online retail store services featuring a lot of different things. This is pretty much just retail stores. Then there is a trademark for pretty much global streaming. This trademark is most likely about the competitive side. It secures the esports side of a game. Again, probably just in case their second game also turns into an esport. Then there is arranging and conducting live competitions featuring video games, which again is pretty much a trademark securing the esports. And lastly, we got the most important one, a trademark for computer software development in the field of video games. So this pretty much confirms that the trademark Legends of Runeterra is also bound to a software video game. Or at least Riot can use that trademark in that way. So right now, the chances for Legends of Runeterra are 50-50. Either this is the name for the physical comic bundle, or Legends of Runeterra will be the next game. Now, let's have a look at the reason why I'm talking about this topic in the first place. Because recently, Riot started talking about the game even more. Or at least they started teasing it. First of all, these days, anytime someone mentions the next game, a lot of Rioters actually start responding to it. Which is something they didn't really do before. I noticed this started happening about 2 months ago. Not only did Tryndamere himself start memeing about it even more. Again, we got the MMO tweet, which is actually more than a half year old now. But on top of that, in an interview from a few months ago, Mark Merrill commented on the entire MMO debate. When he was asked whether the company should make an MMO, first of all he said that the tweet was just a joke, but he also said that going head to head with WoW may not be the best move. Which really tells us that no matter what game Riot makes, we shouldn't expect anything traditional. It absolutely makes sense that when you are making an MMO, you should not just copy the other games. But this tells us that Riot might not copy anyone else's work in other games as well. But again, this really just tells us what we learned before. Riot is not working on an MMO. Or they might be lying. In which case, well played. Now going back to what I was talking about before. When I myself tweeted about the next game, and I mentioned that it is League's 10th anniversary, so it would be a really good year for a new game. Not only did Ben Forbes, who is actually a really awesome guy by the way, tweeted me a really sarcastic answer, saying that they are definitely not making an MMO, like at all, not really, so we should not get hyped for it, and that this is not a troll or meme, which now that I look at it again, I actually don't know if it is sarcastic. It feels like this tweet is sarcastically making sarcasm. But more importantly, these tweets usually get liked by other Rioters, and sometimes Riot games themselves. I know this really shouldn't mean anything, but a few months ago this used to never happen at all. It is as if something changed. And maybe Riot is getting closer to the reveal. The last thing I wanted to mention in this nonsense of a video is that Riot actually asks people in-game what other games they are excited for. Now, this quote-unquote feedback could go both ways. Either they are legitimately asking about what other games people are excited for, and they are researching the markets. Or they are gathering the data because they already have a game prepared, and they want to set up a good joke. Now, I know that none of this really means anything, but it is still fun to speculate about what might happen. If you ask me, I really don't think an MMO would be a good idea. I think that when you are trying to set up a world, an RTS is actually a good way to expand it. FPS wouldn't really do anything, a fighting game wouldn't do much either. But either an RPG game or an RTS can reveal the world and its inhabitants. So if you ask me, I really hope Riot is working on an RTS. Right now there is not a lot of these games on the market, so Riot has a chance to revolutionize the genre, just like they did that with MOBAs. And you know that a company like Riot will try to do something special, so pushing a genre forward is exactly what they would do. Now, I know that this video was quite different, but again, it is my birthday. I have the right to do videos like these, even if it is for one day. So with this, I'll end this video, and if the MSI capsules get released, there should be another video later this week. If not, I'll just see you with Yumi's story. So as always, thank you, come again. Hey, did you know that we have social media and Twitch where we talk about other league facts and stories? And did you know that we have neat mugs and shirts too? The links to all of that will be below. And as always, thank you, come again.